4, 3, 2, 1.
Champions! Wrexham are promoted. They have their storybook ending.
You can walk through the fire. You can walk through the fire. When it's down to the wire. You can walk through the fire.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the Wrexham Texan. My name is Jake Green. Thank y'all so much for watching today, for listening today, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. A little bit of housekeeping before we get to the dreadful game against Newport. We are now streaming on 6 different places. So we're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, two streams on Twitter, actually, Wrexham Texan and PeacefulSea Productions. And then my favorite is Rumble. Rumble just added some integration with my streaming software. So now Rumble is available. We're now live streaming on Rumble from here on out. And it is my favorite platform these days. YouTube does a lot of weird stuff with their algorithm. And we have other shows with my company aside from the Wrexham Texan. And some of those shows get us demonetized and we have strikes against our channel. So if you have Rumble, if you like Rumble, go on over and subscribe to our channel over there. It's just Wrexham Texan on Rumble. So go over there to do that. Again, thank y'all for joining. We're also streaming live on our website, which is PeacefulSea.network. You can go over to our website. You can stream straight from there. You can see all of our other podcasts, all of our movies, all that kind of stuff. And there will be more movies and shows and podcasts added over the coming year or two, and hopefully long into the future. Yeah, speaking of, here's the Rumble channel. Just now set it up, so it's got a bunch of the old clips and some of the more recent episodes. So yeah. With that being said, let's just dive into the highlights because there really weren't very many highlights. It's 4 minutes of highlights, and I'll just talk over it because, I mean, what a terrible game. Let's watch.
Curled over, that's well over the bar. To the relief of the Wrexham fans in the temporary stand behind the goal. Clark.
Here we go. Here comes Will Boyle.
Heads that one clear. Will Boyle
and red card. Honestly, I understand the idea of the red card. I don't at all agree with the implementation of it, and I don't agree that that was actually a red card. We can talk about that in a little while. Let's turn down that volume so it's not so loud. Barnett, man, I love watching Barnett. I'm so glad he was in the starting lineup this week. He is so fast, so quick. Look at that move. He just barely lost it, but gets it back, and no one was there to tap it in. Barnett did that all by himself. And what's up, Chris Welsh boy? How you doing? I can actually see comments on Instagram now, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I love watching Barnett play. I think he's severely underrated. And then, they just dominated the game. They were so good compared to how we played. And they had some really pretty moves. They were attacking a lot. And then, oof, right there. I thought he should have made that one. There was a lot of open goal. Yeah, it could have. I didn't see a deflection, but it could have been a deflection. I still didn't see one, even on the replays. Yeah, they just outplayed us. When they possessed the ball, there we go. There's the one. Even long-armed Okonkwo couldn't save that one. And yeah, he ran across to the Wrexham fans and silenced them, and then ran over to his own fans. He just barely got a finger on that. That would have been an incredible save if he had gotten that thing. He may have just been slightly off the line, maybe slightly too far off the line to get that. If he had been back on line, maybe he would have been able to bump that out. But man, wow. He had to work hard yesterday to maintain that 1-0 loss. our defending really did not do well. Our offense didn't do well. We didn't keep possession of the ball very well. It was just a miserable game. And we'll get into the ref too, because the ref, it's not going to show it in the highlights, but the ref called 10 cards, 25 fouls. There was no, like, you could never get momentum. Anytime that we had any type of breakaway, he would blow the whistle at something. He called offsides on Barnett once, which was not offsides. How did that guy not score right there? I mean, Palmer Holden, is that, yeah, Palmer Holden. Yeah, he just launched it straight sideways, and McLean should be shot for that pass, or at least just slapped gently across the face. Yeah, in the second half, they did the exact same thing they did in the first half. They just didn't get the goal. Look at this. Like, Okonkwo had to work his tail off in order just to maintain that 1-0 lead that they had. Man, our play yesterday was terrible. And I know we were playing with 10 men. Still no excuse to play that poorly. We've played with 10 men before and still won. And Okonkwo gets that one. And he rifled it up the field. Look how far Okonkwo can throw that ball on a line drive. That is awesome. And like perfectly placed to Mullen. McLean gets it, crosses it, or no. Yeah, Lee gets it. There we go. And that one, if that goalie hadn't been in that exact spot, that could have been another mistaken goal by Elliot Lee. Pass goal. And there they go. Yeah. Y'all, it was an absolutely horrendous game. It was an absolutely horrendous game. Parkey got a yellow card. Boyle got a red card. He's suspended for 3 games. I don't know. I'm interested to know what people's thoughts are on that red card, because I understand sliding, like tackling with your cleats up should be, or like is considered a red card. But man, he got the ball, and I just don't think he got much or any of the man, of the attacker. And I don't think it was malicious. I don't think he was trying to do that. I just think it was overkill by the ref. But the ref was doing that all day. Like, he gave out, we're going to go over the stats here in a second. He gave out 10 cards yesterday. 10 cards. Before I start whining about the ref for 30 straight minutes, let's look at our lineups from yesterday, because it was a different lineup than the past few games. We had Barnett in this time. We had Dalby, and we had Boyle. So those 3 were slightly different changes. I mean, Dalby started a few games this season, but he doesn't start every game. Lately, it's been Fletcher. So we had Dalby, we had Boyle, and we had Barnett. I thought Barnett was the only one who did anything. Obviously, Dalby came off quickly because we had to put in, was it Jones that came in for him? No, it was Owen O'Connell. Also, I've been mispronouncing friggin' O'Connell's first name this entire season, this entire podcast. Didn't know that Eoghan was Irish for Owen. So that's embarrassing. Yeah. So Owen O'Connell came in, which I loved seeing him again, seeing him back in the game for Dalby. So yeah, Dalby didn't get enough time to prove himself during this game, but Barnett did, and Barnett crushed it. Barnett played the whole game. I thought he did well. I thought he was the only guy who was able to make things happen. The sad thing is, no one was there to help him, and no one was there to aid him and assist him and be there when he crossed the ball. So it didn't, if you're a man of, like, if you're a team of 1 and you're doing everything, and he's not like the biggest goal scorer, he's a guy who gets the ball down the sideline and crosses it in. If you have no one to cross it to, you're not going to score any goals. So we got to have somebody in the box exactly where he's passing the ball, and he had some good moments. Boyle, obviously, red card, he's out. Boyle's been a disappointment since he's been here. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's the style of play that we have. I don't know. Yeah, he just hasn't seemed to fit in very well with what we're doing. And I think, there are some folks like this guy. Racecourse Ramble, Wrexham AFC podcast, says that here ends the career of Will Boyle at Wrexham. Very interesting. Could be. I mean, I wouldn't say it's not possible. He hasn't played very much for us anyway. Getting a red card. I mean, him getting a red card is not that big of a deal for us over the next few games. It's not like he was, it's not like losing Mullen or losing Okonkwo or, O'Connell. I'm glad he's back. Ben Tozer, we lost a sub, a reserve squad player. So it's not the worst thing in the world. He hasn't played very much. I don't really see him coming back and playing a lot in the future. January is almost over, y'all. Transfer window's almost done. So I'm interested to see what happens with our transfer window. We'll get to that later on in this episode. All right, let's go over the match stats, because I always like looking at them. It helps me put things in a little bit of perspective. All right. So they beat us on possession, but not by much. We had a better duel success rate, better aerial duels won. They had 15 interceptions. And one of those was friggin' McLean just giving it to them in our own box. Not great. 4-4 offsides. It felt like offsides was called at the worst times for us and at the best times for them. That ref drove me absolutely nuts. He was nitpicking everything. People were flopping left and right. Poor Palmer got fouls called on him repeatedly when he came in the game, and he would barely touch the guys. They would just flop onto the ground like they were dying. Oh my gosh, that was absolutely infuriating. They won 5 corners. We won 2. Distribution. Again, they had 50 more passes than we did. Not that bad. We had more long passes. Passing accuracy, they're 11% better. In opponents' half, though, they're 20% better, which is, 20 percentage points better. They had 25 crosses to our 11. All 11 of those may have been Barnett. McLean had a couple. And then crossing accuracy, about the same. Attack, look at this. We had 4 shots. 4. You can count them on one hand how many total shots we had. We had 4 freaking shots. You're not going to win the game if you have 4 shots. One of those shots was on target. A single shot was on target. And I don't know if they would characterize Elliot Lee's pass as a shot, but it was on target. And there was one other one. Mullen tried to dink one in from way far out over the goalie, just chip it over the goalie from way far out. So that may have been the shot on target. Those were the only 2. Those were the only 2 that I can remember that could have the possibility of being a shot on target. They had 16 shots. We had 5. Or no, they had 16 shots and 5 shots on target, and 1 went in. 2 block shots. They had 5 shots outside the box. We had no block shots. 11 shots inside the box for them. Their shooting accuracy. Well, it's because they had a bigger number. Their shooting accuracy was 31%. Ours was 25%. Yeah. Matt, my brother, is chiming in. He makes a good point. We were down a man for 70 minutes. Amazing. You had 46% possession. I mean, it was a decent effort. I don't know if you watched the game, but it didn't feel like a decent effort. Like a couple guys here and there felt like they made that effort, but I just, the energy, it was an away game, so maybe the energy just wasn't there, but like the energy didn't seem to be valiant, in my opinion. Like I don't know. Bigger staff came on late, which I was super excited about. We had 3 strikers. I mean, it was a valiant effort on Parkey's side. Like Parkey went for it. He put in 3 strikers when we were man down towards the end of the game. So he was trying to get us that goal. We just couldn't quite do it. On the defense, 21 tackles for us. Their tackle success rate was 78%. We had 23 clearances. And this was the sticking point. 13-12 on fouls conceded. They had 6 yellow cards. We had 3. We had 1 red card. The refs just didn't let them play. And when you're the home team, that isn't as much of a problem as when you're an away team. If you're the away team, you want to get in a groove. You want to have some momentum. You don't want this stop and go play. And the ref was blowing the whistle. I mean, what does that average out to? If he blew the whistle 30 times for fouls, that's once every 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely a ref show. I mean, once every 3 minutes, he's blowing the whistle for a foul. That's what that averages out to. And that's ridiculous. Like, let them play. He called so many ticky-tack fouls. He let people get away with flopping all the time. And a couple of our guys flopped once or twice, but their guys flopped regularly the entire dadgum game. I mean, I thought it was horrendous reffing. And I thought you never want the reffing to decide, or I don't even know if it decided the game. It just made the game extremely unwatchable and unbearable. Like, I didn't enjoy watching that game because it didn't feel like a soccer match. It just felt like a ref testing out his whistle. I freaking hated it. Yeah. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on the game. Rob Ryan Red had some thoughts. Deserved defeat. Pointless pretending otherwise. Completely agree. Fearless in devotion. 1-0. Can't dress it up in any other way. That was absolutely awful. Uninspired performance. We never looked like scoring. The red card didn't help, but that's no excuse. The better side won on the day, and that's the harsh reality of it. Yeah, 100% correct. We definitely did not deserve to win that game. Will Boyle getting sent off obviously didn't help anything, and I just don't think we've played with 10 men before, and we've been absolutely fine. I'm fairly certain that we've scored multiple times while we've had 10 on the pitch, and won games where we've had 10. We just did not look good today. We were slow the whole game. We didn't have all the energy that we had in the second half of last week's game. So it was a miserable day. Plus, I was slightly distracted while watching because one of my buddies was over and he was fixing his car in my driveway. So I was a little distracted during the game. But overall, it was just it was uninspiring, and it's not the end of the world. And I have some tweets that say just that. Here we go. Here's the first one. Let's see if I can make this bigger for y'all. I wonder if I can do that. Yes, there we go. That's way better. Maybe y'all can see that better if y'all are watching. All right. Beardy Wrexham says, must be getting calmer as I'm getting older, but not that bothered we lost. Wanted to get another one over on Newport for sure, but in the grand scheme of things, not a disaster. Every time we've lost this season, we have won the next league game. I fully expect that trend to continue up the town. I absolutely agree. This is not something where I look at it and start freaking out that we lost to Newport. I definitely have more patience in sports as I've gotten older, along with Beardy Wrexham, I guess. And I think we'll be fine. There's no need to freak out. Apparently, people have been freaking out because Alex Carter says, the panic and anger which follows every Wrexham loss is embarrassing. Laughing, crying face. On current PPG, will end on 87 points and 9 losses. A promotion-winning formula for every League 2 season this millennium. Enough for the title in 3 of the last 4 full seasons. We'll be fine. Completely agree. There's never a need to overreact to one single loss. Like we haven't lost that many games. We've lost 5 games all season, and it's just not that big of a deal. Every now and then we're going to lose. No team is perfect. It's how sports happens. And so let's look at the table. Let's look at the table real quick. All right. So I think Stockport's game was postponed yesterday, as was Mansfield's. But we're now even on games played with Stockport. Mansfield still has a game in hand. So technically speaking, they could jump ahead of us into second place, and we could drop down to third once they make that game up. Crew has played one more game than us. So is Barrow. So whatever they do in the future, we'll make up a game for it later on. So right now we're solidly in second or third place. Like, we're still in automatic promotion territory. There's no reason to be nervous about the future, about the rest of this season. Said it before, I think we're going to win the league. We're 2 points down from winning it right now. And we have 3.5 months to go, give or take. So that's not so, I mean, come on, that's fantastic. We got promoted for the first time in 15 years last season, and now looks like we're going to get promoted again, or we're on our way to getting promoted again. I'm very happy with where we're at right now. Very happy. Here's what I'm not happy with. The number of dadgum players injured. Wonderboy Wrexham lists them. Cannon, Davis, Fletcher, Ford, Hayden, Leighton, Tunnicliffe, and O'Connor are all friggin' hurt. And Boyle is suspended. But as we said, that doesn't really matter. Cannon, Davis, Fletcher, Ford, Hayden, Tunnicliffe, and O'Connor. Those are starting and sub players. Like, those are all players that we need on our squad, and that many of them are hurt. We really need to Matthew. Oh, Matthew, my brother wants me to talk about the 49ers. He's saying, talk about the Niners, you coward. Yeah, the 49ers won last night, barely. In the last minute, they beat a mediocre Green Bay team to get to the NFC Championship. So yeah, you beat the Packers, and my Cowboys didn't. Congratulations, bravo. Let's get back to talking about all of our defenders who are out. So Cannon, we've got Ford. Well, Ford more midfield, but Hayden, Tunnicliffe, and O'Connor. I mean, that's half our defense. That's half our defenders are injured right now. And I love Cannon. That guy hustles so hard. He hustles as much as Lee does, and as much as like Barnett does. Super quick, super fast. The fact that we have this many players injured leads me to believe we're going to make some type of big move here in the coming days during the transfer window. Let's see. I'm seeing if there's any news from in that regard as far as the transfer window, and I don't see any at the moment. No new signings. Nothing's happening. Yeah. So no news on the Wrexham website for transfers as of this moment, but we need some transfers. We have too many people injured, too many people prone to injury. I still think we can get it done. Like, putting together a patchwork lineup every week isn't ideal, but it is something that we can do, and we still have the firepower in order to score goals. And that's really what we need. That's kind of our game anyway. Like, our defense just hangs in there while our offense scores goals. That's kind of how it goes. And we do a good job at that. We're going to start scoring goals again. It's not the end of the world that we got a shutout this week, that we scored nothing. I realized we didn't even come close to scoring anything. There was that one that Barnett sent across the middle that no one was there to receive. So I don't know. I'm still very optimistic. I don't think people should freak out. I do think that ref needs to, go pray about his anger, because he just seemed angry, just giving out cards and penalties and fouls left and right. You can't play football that way. It's infuriating. You got to let them play at least a little bit. Even the linesman, I think the linesman got one or two of those offsides incorrect. That one that Barnett, I think it was later in the second half, they called Barnett offsides, and he had a run that could have gotten us down towards the goal. And I just don't think he was offsides. I just don't think he was, like, at all. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I mean, yesterday was just a crappy game. I said it in the red hot take right after the match on my Instagram. So yeah, just a miserable game. I'm not happy about it, but we do have a fun game coming up a week from tomorrow. The Blackburn Rovers in the FA Cup. Super excited for it. I know there's been a lot of people crying out and angry and upset that they put the game on a Monday night. And I realize that can be difficult for certain people who have shift work or have jobs or kids or whatever at a certain time. Like, I understand that can be a difficult thing, but there are other people who never could go to a game or watch a game or tune in because they were at work on Saturdays or Sundays. So you win some, you lose some. It's late, it's in the evening. I believe it's 7:30 UK time. So at the very least, many people will get to watch it on TV because it'll be televised. And I think we're still going to sell it out. I think we're still going to get, I mean, what they gave like 7,000 tickets to the last team. If they give us 7,000 tickets, I think 7,000 people will show up. That's what I think. I think Wrexham fans are fervent enough to make that happen. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I think we got a shot, y'all. I think we got a shot to take down a Championship League team. Where are they in the Championship right now? Let's see. EFL table. I don't know why I don't have this saved. Let's see where they're at. Did I miss them? There they are. 17th. All right. So they're lower half of the table. Not doing that well. Their most recent results were a loss to Huddersfield, West Brom, and Cambridge, 1-1, 4-1, and 5-2. Or no, I guess they tied. Is that Huddersfield? Is that what that is? Huddersfield. That's what it is. Okay, Huddersfield. Tied them, lost to West Brom. Oh, they beat Cambridge. So, yeah. They're 1-1-1 in the last 3 games. Y'all, it's a team I think we have a good shot at beating. I would obviously much prefer to just beat them outright than go to a replay, which I still have an issue with the term replay. I don't think it should be a replay. I think it should be a rematch because it's called a freaking match. A replay is something you watch a play again. That drives me insane. But I think we've got a shot. I think what we did with Sheffield United last year, taking them to a replay, I think we can put it away before that second match. I think we can do it. Prediction. My prediction for the game next Monday, 3-2. I think it's going to be 3-2. I don't see us getting a clean sheet against Blackburn. I think we got to score some goals to make it work for us. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Okonkwo is going to be able to stop them from scoring every single time they're down the pitch. So 3-2 is my prediction, and we'll see what happens. Y'all, if you enjoy the show, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with folks. Tune in if you want to come on the show. I like having folks on the show. I'm reaching out to guests for future episodes right now. So yeah, I'll have some guests on in the coming weeks. Yeah, follow us on all the channels, especially Rumble. I'm going to be promoting Rumble a lot. I don't know how popular Rumble is. I know Russell Brand. He's exclusively on Rumble, and I know a few other folks are exclusively on Rumble because they don't ban people and they don't censor people. So yeah, go on over to Rumble if you don't have that account, and follow me on there. Wrexham Texan. You can also follow my other podcasts over there, but Wrexham Texan, I assume, is the one that you want to listen to if you're listening to this one. All right, y'all. That'll do it for this week. Yeah, I'll be back next Sunday. I say at noon Eastern time, 5 GMT, but sometimes it pushes back a little bit just based on what's happening in my life. So hopefully it'll be at noon next week. But I'll see you then. Up the town.
Search my soul with all your heart. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. And if you knock my soul with all your strength, you're gonna find it. You're gonna find it.